home of brilliant children's books.
Hello, my name's Mark Dorey.
And I'm Seren.
And this is another exciting Tomser Cat book review. And today we're going to do the third book in a series of the Nevermore series called
Hollowpox The Hunt for Morrigan Crow.
And Hollowpox The Hunt for Morrigan Crow. So, yeah, good cover.
Yeah. And before I read the blurb, I just want to show the amazing cover, because not only is it only green, but it's got quite a lot of detail at the back.
Ooh. Oh.
And look at that. Can you see that? That's amazing.
Tola? Yes, we've got all the
amazing good illustrations.
Yeah, wow.
I like that. I love how they have things under the cover. I just think it's very good.
Yeah, I would say that's one of the things about this Nevermore series is the inside covers. The inside covers, if you like, are excellent with the detail on it, as well as it's got a sort of pronounced Hollowpox on there. And not only that,
it's actually signed. It's signed by the author herself. Burn Brightly.
Jessica.
By Jessica.
Or Jessica T, I don't know if that's a T at the end. Says it on there.
Jessica Townsend.
Yeah.
And it's actually got a picture of her. Can you see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
And on the back?
And on the back, it's actually also got Burn Brightly.
Which is what she says.
Mm-hmm.
So, as always, if you are enjoying our book reviews, you can always subscribe, click on the bell, and you will never miss another episode. So, Sed, do you want to read the blurb on the inside cover?
Yeah. Morrigan Crow is determined, daring, and ready for a new challenge. To step into her destiny as a wondersmith, master the mysterious wretched arts, and control the power that threatens to consume her. She and her friends are proud to be in their second year of attendance at the Magical Wonder Society, and together they can face anything. But a strange illness has taken hold of Nevermore, turning its peaceable Wunimals into mindless, vicious animals on the hunt. As victims of the Hollowpox multiply, panic spreads. And with the city she loves in a state of fear, Morrigan quickly realizes it's up to her to find a cure for the Hollowpox, even if it will put her and the rest of Nevermore in more danger than ever before.
Ooh. And so, as we said, this is the third exciting adventure of Nevermore. And the first one was where, if you like, Morrigan Crow gets rescued from her home as a cursed child. And then she goes into Nevermore.
She was destined to die, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was destined to die. The second one is where she actually gets into the sort of Unit 919.
And discovers what her special gift is.
Yeah, where she is a wondersmith, almost like an undercover wondersmith. And this one is where she starts to discover her real power, isn't it?
Yeah.
So she discovers her real power, and as such, she goes to levels within the Wondrous Society that other students of Unit 919 are not allowed to go in. So she goes down to sub 9 and all these different levels, and she discovers all these amazing things of past wondersmiths, not including the dreaded Ezra Squall, the arch enemy of Nevermore. So all that is going on, and she's doing her best with all her studies and learning things and discovering things. And then suddenly the Hollowpox arrives. This disease suddenly arrives where Wunimals sort of
become basically like normal animals.
Yeah, half well, they are like foxes and bears and eagles and all this, but they've got human traits. Like in book 2, one of her teachers was a tortoise one.
Yeah.
And in book 3, there's bear ones, fox ones, otter ones, there's everyone's one.
Mm-hmm. And she's got a special one-animal who is her friend called Sophia.
Yeah, Sophia is a fox one, and she's part of the Wondrous Society. But the thing is, this disease is not only it's infecting the animals, and it's causing them, so they think of them as animals with human traits. It's causing them to go back to being an animal. So a fox one would become a fox with no reasoning and just barking and everything else. But worse than that, it's called the Hollowpox because it causes them to go hollow. It empties their minds, so that, as they say, they just become.
So they're not like humans anymore.
Yeah, they just become an animal, or what's called in here a one-animal. They just become a one-animal. And it leaves an animal, and it leaves them. Well, yeah, they've lost their former self, and some of them actually die as well. So this is a terrible disease, and people start panicking all through Nevermore. They start panicking and wondering what they're going to do. And Morrigan Crow starts investigating what could be the source, and she meets up a few times with the dreaded
Ezra Squirrel.
Yeah. Through the Gossamer, through the Gossamer link, and she's talking to him, and he starts saying things about being a wondersmith and this, that, and the other, and he tries to persuade Morrigan to become
his apprentice.
Which
is a student.
Yeah, I was an apprentice once.
Were
Yeah, in the Steelworks. There you go. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. So this evil Ezra Squall is trying to persuade Morrigan to become his apprentice. And meanwhile, you got the other characters like Jupiter North. He's working with the scientists to try and get a cure for this Hollowpox. So you've got all this happening. In fairness, this book took us a long time to read, didn't it?
It did, yeah. We got a bit distracted.
We got a bit distracted by we were doing audiobook.
Adventures on Trains
and this, that, and the other. And so we were sort of interweaving this book. And sometimes when you sort of take a break from a story, it's quite hard, isn't it, to catch up? Exactly, yeah. Yeah, so it's quite hard to catch up. So,
which is why you should keep reading.
Yeah, which is why you should hit it in one go. I mean, it's got a lovely cover, and there's a lot in this book. Okay, what age group would you say this book is?
I would say it'd be a 12 to 14 because it says online that it said it'd be an 8 to 11. 8 to 11. But I think this book is much harder than it looks.
Yeah, it's a harder read, and it is a slightly, with everything that's happening with the Wondermals, it's a darker book as well. So it is a darker book, and you've got to take that into account. But it builds on the characters. But having said that, what I would say is Morrigan's friendship with one or two of her students in 919, that deepens, but all of the other sort of characters go into the background a bit. So I would say the main focus on this one, I would say, is that she's in the second year, but it's mostly on her being a wondersmith and discovering her talents. So there's less character interaction than with the other ones, because the overall theme is this Hollowpox is taking over all the Wondermals in Nevermore, isn't it? So we don't want to give the end away, and just to say that the end isn't the end. It's going to go on to the next book. Is this Silverthorn? What's this
Silverborn? That'll be coming out
in September. It's been delayed, but Silverborn is coming out in September, and this book leads directly on. And when I looked on the internet, I think it said they've planned 7 to 9 books. And also, I think Paramount Pictures have also signed a deal to make this into a movie. So who knows what's going to happen.
I was hoping it would make it into a movie.
Yeah, I think for us, well, let's give it a rating first, and then we can explain
Probably
why.
a cartoon movie. I mean, we did see a picture of
You
it
mean
being
an animated movie?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be real actors in this one.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what would you give this star rating, sir?
I'd probably give it a 3.
Okay, and I would give it a 3.5. I think if we had read it not in one sitting, because we never read it in one sitting, but if we had constantly read it and not taken breaks, I think it is a 3.5 stars. And the reason for that is it is a lot darker, so sometimes it's a lot harder to follow, isn't it?
Yeah.
And especially when you're taking breaks from the book. But having said that, 3.5 stars is still a good rating. So thank you again for joining us. As always, if you are enjoying the channel, why not like, subscribe, click the button or click the bell, and you'll never miss another episode. And this was and is Hollowpox The Hunt for Morrigan Crow, our special signed edition. So don't forget, burn brightly, and we will see you again in the next review. Bye-bye.
Bye.